Hi there, this is Danielle. Nice to connect with you again. I hope you are doing well, Coach. In today's video, I'm going to recap the information that we discussed last week about the competitive swimmer you are training, talk about the assessment results, and then talk about the intervention that we are going to be putting in place. So to quickly review, we are discussing a behavior intervention plan for your 20-year-old competitive swimmer named Andrea. She's in her first year of university at Brock, and she is a bottom tier swimmer who you are stating starts to struggle with motivation as well as decreasing her stroke count for her specific training. It was helpful to gain this insight on Andrea and to understand her profile to develop this intervention. So thank you so much for all of that great information. So when reviewing the assessment findings, the baseline data showed that Andrea's stroke count was below average for the competition level, being 18 to 20 strokes when completing the 25-yard swim. I understand that this is a distance that you are currently training her on for the competitive series that is coming up. This baseline information was helpful to see what her current stroke count is and then what our goal can be in the future. So the objective of our intervention will be to reduce that stroke count number to the desired number that you stated is possibly 13 to 15 strokes for every 25-yard swim. As discussed previously, you stated that the fewer, more effective strokes is the desired stroke count during this lapse in the competition. So I know you also mentioned in a few of our phone calls that you wanted the swimmer themselves to be quite independent and have a role of responsibility within this intervention. So in our last meeting, I'm really happy that we could discuss self-management a little bit and how it can help with behavior changes. I am really glad that we did discuss that quite in depth at a high level because we are going to utilize the technique of self-monitoring, which you had a really great understanding of yourself. So I found research evidence-based articles showing that self-monitoring and going public with athletic-related goals may be helpful to address Andrea's profile in order to enhance her motivation and performance. Similar self-monitoring and going public techniques have also been utilized for competitive athletes and dancers. We are going to utilize this research and we're going to use it to motivate Andrea's behavior and skill development when training for competitions. The time framing of her training is going to stay the same. So it's still going to be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 2-hour duration blocks. If there's any medical concerns or if there's any injury or illness, please do not conduct this intervention during those times. The new element of her training session is going to be the addition of a dry erase board that will be held up by Velcro, which is actually going to be mounted to the diving block above her swimming lane. This right here is going to be the self-monitoring aspect of the intervention, so she is able to see her best score when training. The visual feedback has been shown in research to be a very critical aspect that helps motivate swimmers to beat their previous laps and also to enhance their overall performances. Research also shows that evaluating performance through self-monitoring techniques promotes perspective taking, self-awareness, and self-correction. Each of these whiteboards are going to have a pre-drawn graph, which will plot the stroke count and laps for Andrea. This graph is going to be inverse, so all the points, again, are going to already be there with the dry erase marker in advance. The stroke count will sit on the y-axis, and each 25-yard distance lap will be on the x-axis of the graph. Once Andrea's laps are complete, she is going to be able to mark off her score, take a breather, and then move on to that next lap. This intervention is based on research specifically done with behavior modification for swimmers. For a visual example, I'm going to include a photo right here so you can see what this setup will look like for Andrea. The second element which we will be adding is something called going public. So the literature shows when individuals go public with their commitment to behavior changes and goals, this also enhances effectiveness and motivation for athletes. So for this, at the end of the 2-hour practice, Andrea is going to take her lowest score number of the day and then write it on that big whiteboard that you guys already have set up in the swimming office for everyone to observe. The stroke count will then be recorded down on the data sheet for the day to keep records of the score weekly. I have attached a photo here in the video of what the data sheet will look like. This is where we will keep record of her best performance every single week. Andrea just needs to fill in her lowest number of the day. I have filled out an example here just so you can see. So this is our intervention plan for Andrea, consisting of self-monitoring and going public. I'm really looking forward to hearing how it goes. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns about any of the elements at all. Best of luck and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.